The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Welcome to this evening's edition of Today on One. I'm Isai Sipunga. In the news tonight, LPM concerned with alleged uranium mining prospectors in Omaheke. Caregivers of HIV-positive children advised to make use of Health Ministry's disclosure program. Overcrowded classrooms are a headache for TUN. Summit to help female farmers excel at feeding the world. And Roundup, Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports, and the weather. The Landless People's Movement has accused the government of rewarding a mining company the prospect and clearance certificate for uranium in the Aminus constituency in Omaheke region. The political party says such mining activities could contaminate the underground water in the area which the community is dependent on. The ministry, however, has denied these allegations.
Reports of alleged mining activities in the Omaheke region emerged in August this year as communities in the Aminus constituency complained to the Landless People's Movement of the likely implications of their livelihoods. The LPM said they will approach the courts to counter if the line ministry granted permission for operators to prospect uranium.
The reports have been provided on the investigations that were conducted and the mining of the uranium on that aquifer, and everybody is attesting to the fact that mining must not be done in that region by all means, because the damages are going to be irreversible, and they are cross-cutting to every sector, the agricultural sector, the tourism sector, and the beef sector, etc. So it has to be cleared with immediate effect. And if that is not done, of course, we, with consultation with the communities, we have declared that we are going to definitely take the matter to court, because now the government is clearly defying the risk assessment report that stated that mining should not be done, that cautioned that mining should not be done there. And as for the information, the scale of which the damage is going to be done is not just in Namibia, but also at regional level. And if we damage this aquifer, then we will be held accountable by the Botswana and South African governments, because we are contaminating the water that they also use, a very precious resource, given that we are arid countries.
Mudengwa also called on other political parties to join in the effort to solicit more support.
We, of course, also call upon the other political parties in the country to please take this thing very seriously, to supplement their efforts on our current efforts that we are busy with now, so that we can stop the government and that Russian, what is the word? That Russian mafia company. You know, it has to be stopped with immediate effect. And so we are going to have another press conference on Wednesday. I'm sure you saw letters that were running in the media written by our lawyers on behalf of Honorable Swarboy as an MP, who is going to expect a letter that will be representing all Namibians.
The Today on One team spoke to the mining commissioner in the Ministry of Mines and Energy, Erasmus Shivolo, who responded via telephone stating that no application for mining or uranium mining has been issued in that area. Shivolo added that there are several exploration licenses and exploration will only be conducted if they have received an environment clearance certificate.
Prevent cramps with Fabifarm's new MVA Cramp Stop. Developed to bring fast and effective relief from cramps in athletes, active people and senior citizens. Manufactured in Namibia, Fabifarm's MVA Cramp Stop contains a carefully selected blend of vitamins and essential minerals to prevent cramps with a full month supply of capsules. It's Fabifarm's new MVA Cramp Stop, your #1 choice in cramp prevention. Now available at all leading pharmacies countrywide.
We have traveled the length and the width of this country.
Except for you, the AMGs, that was lekker gegaan. Why can't we showcase the beauty of Namibia?
We met the guys in Ochiwarongo.
Yeah.
We had an argument about what is the name, what does the name
Ochiwarongo.
Ochiwarongo.
Yeah. I don't want to see a mall, because a mall for me is no reference. Obviously, my wife and any other woman who's watching this now, it's a year, what praat jy man? Is jy Tom? Nee, that's not what I do.
This is my favorite gear. Nivea Men Black and White Deo, with 5 times Deo action to protect you and your favorite gear from stains. Try SA's #1 anti-stain deodorant.
At what age should children with HIV be informed that they're living with the virus, and who should explain their status to them? The Ministry of Health and Social Services says guardians caring for children who are living with HIV don't have to carry the burden of having to disclose their children's HIV status to them, as there are trained healthcare workers that can do so on their behalf.
Speaking to Today on One, the pediatric HIV senior medical officer stationed at the Katutura Intermediate Hospital in the capital, Dr. Francina Franz explained that the process of disclosing a child's HIV status to their child must be done in a controlled manner. When it comes to caregivers of children living with HIV, the ministry's healthcare workers propose introducing the concept once the child is 5 years old and provide full disclosure to the child when that child turns 9 years of age. Dr. Franz further advised on ways parents can protect their children who are living with HIV against the stigma surrounding the virus.
We have a disclosure program for caregivers who are taking care of children who are living with HIV. So we do have it in our Namibian HIV guidelines that from the age of 5 years old, the healthcare workers already proposed to the caregivers that it's time to start introducing the concept of why the child is taking care, why the child is taking their medication to the caregivers. So by age 5, we already start discussing why the child is taking care of why the child is taking their medication. But from the age of 5, though, we are using concealing words. We don't disclose yet exactly why the child is taking their medication. And then by age 9, we then tell them that actually from what you are reading from when you were 5 years old, actually what we are referring to is HIV and CD4 and so forth. And so the caregivers don't have to carry that burden. There's actually healthcare workers who are trained to give disclosure to these children, so they don't need to do it alone. So if also they go to a setting where maybe the healthcare worker didn't take the step to introduce the concept, then they can also ask the healthcare workers to help them disclose to these children who are living with HIV. So by age 9, then they are told that actually they are HIV positive. The stigma in the community is very unavoidable, especially if people around the community find out why specific people are on treatment. But what I would say is that because even during the disclosure process that is done at the healthcare facility, is that their status doesn't need to be mentioned in the community, but just to be kept in the household. So just people who are at home or caregivers of the kids who are around the child as they take their medication, but they don't need to go outside in the community and talk about their HIV statuses. And this is something that we actually warn the young people when they are fully disclosed to, that you don't have to say to anybody around the community, but just at home and in the healthcare setting.
Already a mother, Ms. Tariro Chata is in the process of adopting a 3-year-old boy living with HIV. She shared her experience fostering a child with HIV, which she said was initially daunting.
Who are we? I asked, who are we? Out of all these mothers and homes, to be given responsibility, such a daunting responsibility, to take care of such a fragile life, to be given by the whole system the honor, to be validated by the system, because we went through the process, the rigorous process of fostering. We are in the process of adopting him. It's also a rigor process. It's not easy. Not only was the baby looking for a home, there's something very wrong about a child lining up for foster caring. There's something very wrong with that picture. Standing in line and saying, who will take me to a home? We could not pass through that. But when it was added that he also has HIV, it broke my heart. It broke my heart. I said, no. Why should a system leave it to the mother, who is also vulnerable, to make sure that she goes through the counseling process of taking this pill that would, avoid contamination or passing on? Why should, as a nation, why should we relegate the responsibility to a vulnerable woman?
Ms. Tariro Chata further shared the medication journey for the little boy, whose growth, she said, was challenged but has improved as a result of the antiretroviral therapy.
But up until 2021, as it has been said, I remember Dr. Franz explaining that we need to change. In fact, she took it was a sugar one. She says, but this is supposed to be soluble, it's supposed to be easier to dispense. I would put it in the vitamin liquid and make it soluble. And she said, we are trying a new drug. And I remember it was not exactly the first blood test. The second, my daughter came and she took the book. She was following the whole thing. She says, let me see the results. I left this place without even checking, because to me, I really did not follow much. So she said, she started hugging me. She says, we made it. We made it. I said, what did we do? She says, don't you see? It's ND. I said, what does that mean? He says, non-detectable. I said, does it mean he's HIV free now? Yeah, so she explained. I want to repeat what she said. She said, if he was a man and he has a wife or woman, he would have a child out of that marriage without passing on the virus. I said, hallelujah. After that, we looked forward to every blood test because we'll get our reward. Like I said, it has been an honor to be a caregiver to a child who needed home. But the responsibility of his health, I think God took it over.
we've always had the bravery to stand up for what is Namibian, from protecting our homes to fighting injustices. We still celebrate what it means to us and raise a glass to those who show their bravery. No matter how they take on the world, with all this potential in the land of the brave, what will you do to make this Namibia your Namibia?
Choose boldness and celebrate the skin you're in with Nivea Rich Nourishing. Our triple layered care of deep moisture serum, natural almond oil, and vitamin E enriches your skin for 48 hours. It's time to show off your best skin. Choose to wear your skin with pride with Nivea Rich Nourishing.
Experience all the drama.
We are going to end this right now. But I'm trying to do something that will save the future of my company.
The suspense.
It's bad. Somebody do something!
And the intrigue.
Just to make sure you were able to hear what they were talking about. Somebody paid you.
How far will you go to protect a family secret?
Call the ambulance, Lucas! I loved him so much.
The Third Will. Coming soon to One Africa TV.
There are data deals. And then there are Telecom Namibia data deals. And if you want the biggest data deal of all, you gotta get 31-day Jiva, which comes with a massive 50 gigs of data. Is it even possible to use 50 gigs of data in a month? You tell us. You also get 1,000 voice minutes and 400 SMSs. To get your hands on 31-day Jiva, dial star 130 star 780 hash and enjoy a month of mega data. Whoa, that's a lot of data, minutes, and SMS. How much is that? Must be expensive. No, it's only 185 Namibian dollars excluding that. T's and C's apply. Telecom Namibia.
Sharing your world.
The Teachers Union of Namibia are up in arms regarding overcrowded classrooms. TUN Secretary General Mahongora Kavihoha says some teachers are disregarding the regulations set in place that limit secondary and primary schools to only 30 and 35 learners per classroom, respectively.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
Mahongora Kavihoha stated that despite the fact that they are the bargaining body that represent teachers, they will not allow any misconduct as it compromises the quality of education, adding that such behavior covers up of the failure of others in the education sector. Kavihoha made these remarks during the TAN Commerce Regional Conference that was held last week in the capital.
We are not going to violate any policy, any law, just to satisfy someone's ego. And for long, teachers have done that. They have been covering the failures of others. And we have said it should come to an end. There is a policy in the Ministry of Education which we call teacher-learner ratio. What does it say? If I am in a secondary school, the learner that should sit in front of you, maximum must be 30. If you are in a primary school, the learner should sit in front of you, maximum must be 35. So if there is a teacher in Namibia, including in commerce, who is teaching in front of you, there are more than that ratio. You are one of the teachers who does not care about the quality of education. You are one of the selfish teachers. You are the one of the teachers who care less about the health of that child. And you are the one teachers who even care less about your own health. So what we are saying, come 2023, no teacher should teach more than the ratio. Why am I saying that you are not care about quality education? The more the learner that you have, the less quality assessment you give because you have to complete marking. So the evaluation of those children are limited just because you have increased the number to satisfy the ego of someone, but compromising the quality of education. Why am I saying you are selfish? Because we have so many graduates that are in the street, have no employment, and you have bring all the 50 learners in front of you. If you push the 20 out, and you are left with that 30, new class will be created and new teachers will be recruited.
Kavehoa further urged union members to implement the set regulations and report any unlawful conduct to the union.
The rules are there. You should only teach 35 and less if you are primary, 30 and less if you are secondary. Why not implementing it? So it's very important, colleagues, that comes 2023 and any person, whether from whatever level, who is instructing you that you must violate that understanding, that person must tell you in writing and bring it to us. We will deal and penal beat them nicely. So it's very important, colleagues, that we need to adhere to the rules. And you have seen how the Ministry of Education is so selfish. When it comes to the what is the other thing? This one is a learner ratio, the other one is what? Staffing norms. They push that very much because it gives stress to you and they want you to have stress. But the one that benefiting you, they don't look at it. We don't have money, we don't have what? It's none of your business. Your business as a teacher is to teach the learners the right number that is agreed upon. Finish in front of you. The rest, push them in the street, let the people that are recruited to take care of them, take care of them.
Mahongora said that the union is committed to ensuring that the education sector operates according to the set rules and regulations, adding that there will be no tolerance for misconduct from all parties come 2023.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
Choose boldness and celebrate the skin you're in with Nivea Rich Nourishing. Our triple layered care of deep moisture serum, natural almond oil, and vitamin E enriches your skin for 48 hours. It's time to show off your best skin. Choose to wear your skin with pride with Nivea Rich Nourishing.
Back in the day, Susie's phone used to ring like a hotline. She was the most popular girl in town. But since she did not register her SIM card with her mobile service provider, her phone does not ring anymore. She has tried to get something similar. She has tried this and that number, but it has never been the same. So now, she has a reputation of being a number hoarder. Instead of just registering her SIM at her mobile service provider and keeping her number. Excuse me one sec. Hello? No, this isn't Susie. Have you tried her other number?
Don't miss out on important communications like Susie. Register your SIM to keep your number. Visit www.cran.na.
In the interest of women's role in global food security, Aris Communication together with NEM Farmers Magazine are hosting the upcoming Women and Agriculture Summit taking place this Thursday in Windhoek. The summit comprises discussion between decision makers and women in the agribusiness sector to exchange information and tackle challenges faced by female farmers.
The marketing and communication specialist of NEM Farmers Magazine, Ishmael Hinnock, explained that the initiative was created to connect women in the business sector together with key stakeholders, in order to give female farmers direction on how to have a positive impact on Namibia's economy.
Now, the Women in Agriculture Summit will be occurring on the 22nd of September. It will be occurring at the National Theatre of Namibia, and it will be occurring under the theme Tackling Global Food Insecurity and the Role of Women in Feeding the World. Now, why such a summit? The summit is basically organized to promote discussions between decision makers and the women business community in terms of topics related to agriculture and farming. Now, the reason it's more of it's critical to actually to have such discussions whereby women can actually get timely information and accurate information regarding the agricultural sectors and specifically agri-businesses that are involved in agriculture. Now, this is one of the ways actually to motivate and actually to encourage and just give direction to women, especially if they want to be more fully involved in the agriculture sector and in being involved in agribusiness. What path should they take? What direction should they go about? That's what the summit intends to do.
Ishmael told Agri on One that the summit will have over 15 speakers representing farmers and different agriculture institutions covering topics on global food security and how female farmers can excel at feeding the world.
The summit will be occurring for a half day, and it will actually be consisting of a variety of speakers from different fields within the agri sectors, but then knowledgeable speakers in terms of the topics and the discussions that they are going to actually be speaking on. We got some speakers, for instance, from the Namibia Agronomic Board, speaker from the Meat Board of Namibia, or speaker from the World Food Programs, speakers from Environmental Investment Fund, speakers from AgriBank, just a few but to mention. Those are some of the speakers that we have. But in total, we actually expect a total of 15 speakers. So it's the summit. It's one of a very good initiative, and it's actually a very good event for women to not miss it, especially if they want to be empowered more on just critical information regarding agriculture and regarding more of agri-businesses, if you should put it that way, within the agri sector. And the speakers going to focus on different topics. For instance, some topics can include like what are some of the roles or some of the roles and stumbling blocks, for instance, that are in the way when women are accessing finance, for instance, to even come up with agri-businesses or expand the agri-operation. Those are some of the topics that
26-year-old female farmer and owner of Shana Bee Farming in the Hartap region, Chantal Maton, encouraged women to attend the event to get new ideas and timely information on how to maximize production businesses.
I will be attending the Women's Summit this week, the 22nd of September. I'm attending in the capacity of Shana Bee Farming. I saw it on social media platforms, and it's something that I want to attend. As I can see, there are big companies that's quite doing well that I want to learn from. I would advise all women in farming to attend such events to expose yourself to more knowledge and to see where you need help and for you to also succeed on your small farm.
Ishmael says participants will be able to not only share the challenges faced in the farming sector, but also the opportunities through networking and learning from experiences of fellow farmers.
In our Tribe Exclusive, we're talking to Pungani Soul.
We are messengers, and we tend to forget that it's not only about the catchy tunes, it's not only about the dancing, but it is also about the message.
Now not only that, we're touching base with the next Magdesa Star Search as they unravel and dig deep.
And when we talk about this platform, the next Magdesa Star Search platform is about exposing the new star, the new talent.
And our DJ is on the decks. DJ John?
I'm always on the decks.
In other leading stories, the Buy Local Grow Namibia campaign in collaboration with the Franco-Namibia Cultural Center or FNCC and the local merchant market will host its first Buy Local Grow Namibia fair on the 24th of September 2022 at the FNCC in Windhoek. The Buy Local Grow Namibia Fair will be a vibrant, family-oriented event encouraging the public to buy local, support Namibian entrepreneurs, and appreciate the rich culture of the country. The fair will showcase a day market with vendors from industries spanning health, food, cosmetics, technology, arts, fashion, and home decor, amongst others, displaying their locally produced goods and services. There will also be a variety of local food and drinks, as well as entertainment with live musical performances, children's games, and an exclusive showcase of local films to round off the day. Lucia Ipumbu, the Minister of Industrialization and Trade, along with Senpang, Resident Coordinator for the UN system in Namibia, will open the Buy Local Grow Namibia Fair, joining counterparts from the diplomatic and business community in visiting the various stalls offering proud Namibian products. The partners view Buy Local Grow Namibia as a long-term avenue to address the many job losses, pay cuts, and business closures experienced as a socio-economic consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic, and believe that consistent investment in our local goods and services is the most significant way towards achieving economic self-sufficiency in Namibia.
We've always had the bravery to stand up for what is Namibian, from protecting our homes to fighting injustices. We still celebrate what it means to us and raise a glass to those who show their bravery. No matter how they take on the world, with all this potential in the land of the brave, what will you do to make this Namibia your Namibia?
Prevent cramps with Fabifarm's new MBA Cramp Stop. Developed to bring fast and effective relief from cramps in athletes, active people, and senior citizens. Manufactured in Namibia, Fabifarm's MBA Cramp Stop contains a carefully selected blend of vitamins and essential minerals to prevent cramps, with a full month supply of capsules. It's Fabifarm's new MBA Cramp Stop, your #1 choice in cramp prevention. Now available at all leading pharmacies countrywide.
in the day, Susie's phone used to ring like a hotline. She was the most popular girl in town. But since she did not register her SIM card with her mobile service provider, her phone does not ring anymore. She has tried to get something similar. She has tried this and that number, but it has never been the same. So now, she has a reputation of being a number hoarder. Instead of just registering her SIM at her mobile service provider and keeping her number. Excuse me one sec. Hello? No, this isn't Susie. Have you tried her other number?
Don't miss out on important communications like Susie. Register your SIM to keep your number. Visit www.cran.na.
On this episode of The She Word, we find out what should be done to protect egg donors from possible exploitation.
It is while waiting for a doctor's appointment to undergo tubal ligation in the UK that Pumla Navacha heard about egg donation.
I overheard a conversation between two slightly older African women, and they were going through a deep conversation about how they had failed for years and years, been trying to have a child, to have children.
Up next is Business on One, the brief and the economic indicators with Joseph Shifeni.
Welcome to this evening's edition of Business on One. Martha Grace Mukete, a nail technician and a product of Technical and Vocational Education and Training, or TVET, encouraged fellow youth to also take up day-to-day work and not just focus on academics. Mukete made these remarks at the official opening of the Academy of Cosmetology in Vanaheda last week.
Mukete, a 2-degree holder, mentioned that she could not find a job as a graduate, so she had to learn new skills of making nails at TVET to support herself financially, which she described as something doable and attainable.
I am an Olafrika 2020 alumni. It's really a beautiful thing for me to see the inauguration of this academy, because these are institutions that we need in our country to empower the youth, because through technical and skills development we create employment. We would like to see more of these initiatives in the country, because it then means that we will have more youth that are busy empowering themselves, busy creating employment, and so forth. An encouragement to the youth is for you to take up day-to-day or handwork, like other people call it in other countries, just not focus on academics alone.
An entrepreneur and the founder of the Academy of Cosmetology, Tapeo Kwadikwa, mentioned that all Namibians should live to create a legacy for the next generation and make a better Namibia.
All of you love Namibia, and you all want a better Namibia, and we must all. Now is the opportunity for us to move to legacy, because we will leave this earth. And when we leave as a steward leadership is to leave something better than how you found it. You leave your family better than how you found it. You leave your community better than how you found it. The reason why we look this way, we were relying on the wrong people to build our country.
Kadikwa believes that an aligned TVET sector will move Namibian youth to the next level of their lives while decreasing unemployment and poverty.
The clock has struck for your daily business and financial news update. Brought to you by The Brief.
Mines and Energy Minister Tom Alwendo says the government is not against the sale of Angolan fuel in the country, but wants the trade to be regularized. Alwenda told the brief on the margins of her stakeholders' engagement on emerging opportunities in the mining and energy industry that no one has approached the government to apply for a wholesale license in order to supply fuel, nor have they declined such an offer. Once someone applies for a wholesale license, he said, they would not care where they buy it from, whether it's Angola or elsewhere. Therefore, the minister said they are against those trading without authorization, as it is against the law. Paratus Namibia has signed a total of $130 million from its second Namibian bond issuance. The bond auction held on Tuesday, 13th of September, received offers worth $363 million, almost 3 times the amount on offer from 5 institutions, where 3-year and 5-year bonds were offered to interested asset managers and other institutional investors within Namibia and South Africa. The final result of the auction saw $30 million worth of 3-year bonds with an interest rate of 8.508% and $100 million worth of 5-year bonds with an interest rate of 5.58% allocated. According to the pricing supplements, Paratus Namibia intends to use the proceeds from the race to kit out the recently constructed cable landing station in Swakopmund and the Armada data center near Windhoek, and further continue to invest into fiber and LTE networks as well as general network infrastructure. Cyrus Capital acted as Paratus Namibia's corporate and transactional advisor.
This was your daily Namibian business and financial news update. For in-depth stories, read more on thebrief.com.na now.
And that is all we have for you. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages for more on the business front.
There are data deals. And then there are Telecom Namibia data deals. And if you want the biggest data deal of all, you gotta get 31-day Jiva, which comes with a massive 50 gigs of data. Is it even possible to use 50 gigs of data in a month? You tell us. You also get 1,000 voice minutes and 400 SMSs. To get your hands on 31-day Jiva, dial star 130 star 780 hash and enjoy a month of mega data. Whoa, that's a lot of data, minutes and SMS. How much is that? Must be expensive. No, it's only 185 Namibian dollars excluding that. T's and C's apply.
Telecom Namibia.
Sharing your world.
Jessica Lagranzi, Marketing Coordinator here for the Kostef Arts and Crafts Center in Swakopmund. We started our journey in 2009 already, and as part of
This is my favorite gear. Nivea Men Black and White Deo, with 5 times Deo action to protect you and your favorite gear from stains. Try SA's #1 anti-stain deodorant.
Every year,
Tens of thousands of African students submit applications to colleges and universities worldwide in hopes of gaining admission. The invasion of Russian forces into Ukraine has highlighted the thousands of African students that were studying in the Eastern European country and their difficulties fleeing the nation.
The Ministry of Mines and Energy Deputy Director of Regulations, Compliance and Economics, Carlo McLeod, said after a recent visit to northern regions affected by illegal fuel smuggling, it was discovered that there are no detailed fences along the Namibia and Angola border, which makes it difficult for law enforcement to keep the situation under control. Ishmael says instead of tackling the issues with relief measures, the ministry is oppressing people that are already struggling. Body said the funds they want to use to improve infrastructure at the border can be used to reduce the fuel prices. Kaki asked whether government vehicles use the fuel when they go on official duty in Angola. Michael said to address this problem, Namibia should reduce fuel prices. Patricia says law enforcement officers rarely fuel up their cars at local fuel stations. Zahir said the system seems to be against the people. Chikeshwa said the Ngungula situation should not be disturbed as it will come to an end with time. And that's it from Comments Corner. Please continue engaging with us on our stories, on our social media pages for broadcast only on Today on 1.
Enjoy these fantastic payday savings at Clicks until the 5th of October. Buy Clicks 2-ply toilet paper, 18 rolls, 2 for $99.99 per pack and 1 for $109.99. Buy Nivea Roll-On 3 for $63. And exclusive to Club Card members, buy Huggies Gold Disposable Nappies Jumbo Pack, now $231.99 per pack. Clicks, feel good, pay less.
Castro Lumbu is up next with the latest in sports.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Sports on One. I'm your host Castro Ulumbu. They went for gold and they got it. The 8th edition of the annual Navajap Gold Mine Half Marathon took center stage in Karibeb this past weekend with more than 600 participants taking on the race challenge. Daniel Paules from the Namibia Correctional Service and Alina Armas from the Namibia Defense Force took top honors in the male and female categories respectively. This past weekend saw the 8th edition of the annual Navachap Gold Mine Half Marathon return after a 2-year absence due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In the senior men's category, Namibia Correctional Service participant Daniel Paulus took top honors as he beat his fellow Commonwealth Games partner Thomas Reinhold, who finished in second place. Paulus, who led the pack from the start of the race, finished in 1 hour 3 minutes and 20 seconds, whilst his compatriot Reinhold finished in 1 hour 3 minutes and 40 seconds. After the race, winner Daniel Paulus was happy with the results despite missing the race's record by 19 seconds. Reinhold said that he was not expecting to finish second. He also congratulated his fellow compatriot from NCS, Paulus, for the victory.
Shashonzi uchondoka mulodera kulana tango competition avene sindatara mwako taisha tatara konsi kuchana ko evenda yali yangi ngenda kana ndakali kandi antu fena ndakali kandi fena ya nchucho peno evenda yona ndene kapali peno evenda ndakukala antu fena shasho evenda atu yake ombadika ndudi tena ipandre training partner tange osho kocha.
During the week I only doing small. I rest only one day because the marathon was taking place on Sunday. I rest Monday. I starting to train only little bit, not too much. Tuesday until first day. Then Friday I rest again. The race was good. When you are going the race, it was easy. But when you come back, it's where I am starting to start again. I started to run this race is only, I didn't even know that I come in second place because I even ran marathon last weekend, Sunday, in Windhoek. I didn't think so I will be finishing this half marathon.
In the senior women's category, it was Alina Armas who managed a 7th place finish at the recently concluded Birmingham Commonwealth Games, who grabbed top honors in this weekend's race challenge for the 3rd time. Armas from the Namibia Defence Force finished the race in 1 hour 20 minutes and 2 seconds. Windhoek Athletics Club's Indileni Meshamekange came second. Armas admitted that the race was difficult as she had to overcome injuries on the road. However, she was happy with her victory.
The weather was okay, but really when we come back, it's too much hilly. But I will enjoy it. That is the 3rd time to win that race. 2014, 2015, I win it the 3rd time. I was a hamstring cramp so that I can keep it cross so that I can run with my own pace. I'm happy. I want to say to thank for my coach, Paul Siambo, and my whole team. That is win which I get. It is not all for me only, if also for the team and Namibian Defence Force for give me enough time to train. And I'm happy to come number 7 in the World Commonwealth Game in London.
The winners of the senior men's and women's categories walked away with 7,000 Namibia dollars each. The second winners received 5,000 Namibia dollars each, while the third sport finishers walked away with 3,000 Namibia dollars each. Thank you for watching. Catch us again tomorrow for more updates on Sports on One.
Thank you, Castro. Now let's have a look at tomorrow's weather forecast. We've come to the end of tonight's edition of Today on One. From me, Isai Sipunga, and the rest of the team, it's good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUL for life. We are IUL.
The first winner of the Champions League, Real Madrid, is the champion of Europe for the 14th time. As Madrid needed to rally from losing positions in the knockout stage, and it was never a sure thing during the final against Liverpool.
Is this the country of endless horizons? Is this a place where you can explore a rich and versatile culture? Is this a place with a variety of different foods to explore? Is this a place where you can peacefully gaze at the stars? Is this a place with deserts, rivers and sunsets? Is this a place where you can rediscover your freedom? This is the place.
Stop coronavirus. Let's follow the rules. We will survive. We will survive. Let's not give up. Let us stand up. We will survive. We will survive. All together. We will survive. We will survive. Let not give up. Let all stand up. We will survive. We will survive. All together. We are living in strange time where people don't shake hands anymore. Where people are afraid to get close to each other. Still sing as one another. Dear Lord, what do I hear? What do you hear? Corona has confused our life, making us fear one another, making so many our beloved ones